Step 2, you cannot be short, broke, or overweight. I know that sounds harsh, but it's the truth, man. The only thing that you cannot control is your height. So that's the only struggle you can afford to have if you are a shorter guy. I told you guys I'm 5'8" and 3/4. When I put on Timbs, I'm stopping with the big dogs. I'm touching about 5'10", brother. Yeah. You got to pick a struggle. And it's as simple as that. And I actually wanted to educate you guys on this whole 3 6s. It's not just 3 of those. If you didn't know that, let me show you. Look, so the first one, of course, is on there. At least 6 inches below the belt. And this is from the website Ask Men. The 6th point of the 6 6s is likely to be one that makes guys the most nervous or the most confident, depending on where they stand. To be fair, not all women need a guy who's at least 6 inches. But for those who are generally not highly sexual, for the rest of us, a minimum of 6 inches is essential if we want to get off. Lest you think this is superficial, think again. It's a matter of basic physics. A larger penis, pause, makes it easier to hit the G-spot, therefore making it easier to orgasm. A wider penis, pause, causes more friction, which enhances pleasure. So if you're not packing down below, make sure you got those oral and fingering skills down packed. For a little bit of, anatomy education, the woman's vagina is only about 4 inches deep, man. So on average, most women say that they need a guy that's at least 5.5 inches of weenus, right? But that's not something that women like to rely on, just being completely honest. So if you tell a woman, if you're about to sneak in with some woman and you tell her, well, your vagina is only 4 inches deep, so I'm coming with 4 inches of weenie, we should be good, right? She gonna look at you like, man, hell no. But to be perfectly honest, 6 inches, I guess that's why they put it in there. So for the majority of women, I guess 5.5 to 6 inches. And I know y'all probably didn't sign up for this, but hey, we got to be honest here. That's what they say. So it is what it is. A 6-figure salary. Y'all have heard this one before, right? These days, the 6-figure salary isn't much, but it's sure as hell better than a 5-figure salary. 5 figures is fine for your average Joe, but to many ambitious women, 5 figures screams middle class. A successful woman is searching for someone who can treat her to the finer things in life. Last-minute weekends in Paris, vacations in Bali, and expensive dinners. But it's not just about the material things. No matter how equal women become to men, when it's all said and done, money equals power and masculinity. A man who earns a lot of money can more easily take care of his family. We've talked about this before. I don't think we need to go any further on the 6-figure conversation. We all know it's down, it's out there. It is what it is. Let's continue. Now, this one is the one that we rarely discuss. This is another 6. A 6-pack abdomen. A 6-pack is just an added bonus, but it's a big one. It makes sex that much more fun. Plus, a guy in shape is more likely to go all night. A guy who's flabby, not so much. And I know we have outliers, and I've talked about this multiple times. The gym is a great equalizer. And I place a lot of emphasis on men getting in shape and taking care of their health. It's not just going to the gym and lift the weights. It's eating healthy, make sure your skin is clear, so on and so forth. So all this factors in. This is one of those that, we rarely talk about because we want to be inclusive when we talk about what women want. But there are some women that, like the dad bods, but there are far more women than not that like men who are in shape. And I'm not sitting there telling you to be some sort of Ronnie Coleman clone. Yeah, buddy! Yeah, buddy! Yeah, buddy! Yeah, buddy! Or Phil Heath clone. No. Get in shape to the best of your ability. And that's what happens with dudes. I just want to look like, let's say, this is what white men say. They say, I want to look like Brad Pitt in Fight Club.
How to get the Brad Pitt Fight Club physique. Brad's height is 5'11" and he weighs around 155 pounds.
That's their ideal physique. But I'm like, once you obtain that, what do? Just stop and maintain that physique, or are you going to continue going? You just continue going, right? So once you get to a goal and your accomplishment, you'll start to understand. And that's what people who are gym rats, they know as well. I've been in the gym for almost 20 years now. And damn near every year I've made some sort of improvements on something. And it's going to get to a point where that's going to stop because I'm getting older. But I want to be able to maintain a respectable physique for my age. And that's what your goal should be. So if you're a guy who is 50 years old, you need to be in the top 5 to 10% of 50-year-old men in regards to your health and your physique to the best of your ability. That's what I mean. Okay. Now, this is a funny one. At least a 600 horsepower in his car. All right. A guy doesn't absolutely need a 600 horsepower car, but he does have to drive a car that's powerful. A Chevy Aveo isn't going to cut it. A Mercedes, BMW, Lexus, or Bentley is a good pick for the fancier girl. For a more laid-back type, an SUV or Audi would be a good choice. But no matter what station wagons, hatchbacks, minivans, or small budget cars are out, if you want to impress Dream Girl. So this is a kind of frivolous one, but it is it's in the the requirements or whatever. So yeah, I think we all know that. Even though some of these smart cars are far more efficient, get good gas mileage or whatever, but what turns a woman's eye is a car that looks pretty good. We know that a guy who meets all the other six figures or sixes, but then he pulls up in a VW Bug or something like that, and not one of the vintage ones, which is a pretty cool car, but one of the new ones where you see a lot of women putting Hello Kitty on the license plate and shit like that. It does look a little bit different. Again, the efficiency and all that stuff, because I know there's going to be some tech guy in there. Well, I drive this, and because it gets me good gas mileage, and I only fill my car up once. I'm not talking about you, brother. I understand all that. But when we're talking about what impresses a woman, what do you think has a better chance of doing that? That VW Bug that I was talking about, or that Corvette that I was dragging my feet on and getting? So yeah, so I get it. You ain't got to go down the list. The mileage and the. I understand, brother. I definitely understand. Cool. People always like, what's a car that they like to point out when we start talking about reliable cars? Hondas. It's gonna be somebody that mentioned, my friend, he did this. He was a Brazilian jiu-jitsu trainer. And he drove a 1986 Honda. He didn't care about what the women think. Brother, I get it all. I understand. And you have to be specific with guys on these platforms. I understand everything. I promise you. You ain't got to tell me that you knew, a Navy SEAL or something like that, was out there offing people, but he came back and drove like a Altima or something. I don't know. But yeah. At least 6 feet tall. I mean, that's the main one that you hear in these spaces. It almost goes without saying that taller men are more attractive to women. 6 feet is a good starting point. It's sort of like how guys think of a 36C cup size. Height suggests safety and security. This is natural and normal to women. It is genetic. We like to feel small and protected in the arms of our guy. It's from a woman's point of view. A man who's 2 inches taller than us is not likely to make us feel sexy or taken care of. More likely, we'll feel like we're hanging out with a friend. And that is not going to get us hot and bothered. They being honest with y'all. Y'all ask for women to be honest. They being honest. But this is something that's inherent to all women. Height, it exudes protection. Women don't know that's the reason why they're going for men who are taller. If you ask them in today's day and age. But back in the day, that was important because when you did, you had to protect your house from being pillaged and plundered. You needed a bigger guy to do that. And women tend to partner with those types of men. And also for genes, genetic purposes, your lineage, kids, so on and so forth. So it's not a slight to anybody who was born short. It's nothing that you can do about that. We understand it. But from a woman's point of view, it's just simply nature. Okay? It may be a little bit more frivolous in today's modern society because we have so many things in place that helps protect the population. So a man that is, my height, 5'8" or whatever, I don't have to rely on, trying to wrestle with some 6'6" dude every day to protect my family. No, we pay taxes. The cops run around here. Call them if that's the case. If you need somebody to protect you. And we also got firearms. If you're an upstanding citizen, you can go ahead and own one of those. So you can somewhat level the playing field. So now in today's day and age, height really doesn't matter in that sense. But for women, since it's natural, it does. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all understand this, gentlemen. And y'all not looking at me crazy. Like, I just want to be clear. I hope y'all understand that. Cortez Smith said, I think they overcomplicate height. I think women pretend to care about it more than they actually do. Yeah, and on the dating market, it honestly doesn't matter. Like the 6 feet thing, yeah, they probably would like a guy who's above 6 feet, but that's not going to stop women from having sex with a guy who's 5'7", 5'8", if he turns her on. It is that simple. I can't sit up here and lie and be like, yeah, men who are below 6 feet don't get no booty. No, it's not true. This one was a crazy one. At least 6 months since last relationship. This is from a woman's point of view. So it says this is an important one for anyone, male or female. If a woman is looking for a keeper, she's looking for someone emotionally available. And that means someone who is well over his last relationship and not looking for a quick fix for his broken heart. There's nothing worse than knowing you are the rebound girl. So in that right, gentlemen, don't tell her. I mean, that's not none of her business. If she trying to disqualify you, then just don't tell her. Because I promise you, women ain't going to tell you shit. They going to lie to your ass. So, hey, if you really trying to start something with the woman and you already did the healing and something like that, and, and I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say lie. But yeah, avoid the question. Let's just say that much. Let's do that. So be vague. Do that. So yeah, I don't want to say that. But yeah, just avoid the question. So